Nelson Cox added to Jamaica Olympic team. Sprinter Kemba Nelson and quarter-miler Anthony Cox had been added to the Jamaican team for the Olympic Games, according to a release from the Jamaica Athletics Administration Association's J3A. The additions were reportedly made on Monday, July 8. Nelson, who led off the silver medal-winning women's 4x100-meter relay team at the 2022 World Athletics Championships in Eugene, Oregon, was fifth in the women's 100-meter at the J3A National Championship at the National Stadium on Friday, June 28. Cox, who was sixth in the men's 400-meter on the same day, replaces 800-meter specialist Kemar Farkinson on the mixed 4x400-meter relay team. One of two suspects in St. James triple murder surrenders to police.
This afternoon, one of the suspects in yesterday's triple murder, John Lee Roach, turned himself in to the Falmouth police station. The St. James police officers, after the operation yesterday where two firearms were recovered, relentlessly pursued the suspects within that case. And we were informed this afternoon that John Lee Roach turned himself in to the Falmouth police station. He is a person of interest in that triple murder. Also, he is wanted for shooting with intent with the police officers yesterday. Also, he is also wanted for a murder in Hanover and also a shooting with intent that he had absconded bail for. We are happy that he turned himself in, and we are asking that all other suspects in matters, rather than have us pursue you, heed our warning and turn yourself in. The suspect, upon turning himself in, upon hearing that he was to be transported to the St. James Division, we were told that he wet himself, thinking of the thought of the relentless pursuit that we had of him. And we are just informing persons that when you're wanted by the police, we will not stop.
We also have interest in a second suspect, Kashim Lewis, OC Borderline. He's the other person that was implicated in the triple murder yesterday evening. We want the public to assist us in locating this suspect so we can bring him to justice.
Here in St. James, we are committed to doing our best to ensuring that citizens are safe. If this means that we will relentlessly pursue all criminal suspects, all wanted persons, that is what we are going to do. But our aim is to bring back safety and security to the people of St. James.
Woman who allegedly fatally stabbed her child's father granted bail. The St. Catherine woman who allegedly stabbed and killed her child's father was granted bail in the sum of $500,000 in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Thursday. Attorney Denise Simpson told the court that her client, 25-year-old Annette Pitt, acted in self-defense and has a 7-month-old child that needs her care. Bail was granted on condition that she reports to the Spanish Town Police 3 times per week, surrender her travel documents, and reappears in court on September 6. It is alleged that Pitt and the deceased, 26-year-old Lashawn Parker, were at home at St. John's Road, Spanish Town, when a dispute developed between them. The accused allegedly used a knife to stab Parker in the chest, then fled the scene. Parker subsequently died from injuries received. Pitt later turned herself in to the police. Man chopped to death in St. Thomas. A 36-year-old man was chopped to death in Trinityville, Front Hill in St. Thomas on Wednesday. He has been identified as Cornell Phillips, unemployed, of a Front Hill district. It's reported that about 9:40 a.m., Phillips and another man had a dispute, and the man left and returned with a machete, which he used to chop Phillips all over the body. Phillips died from injuries received, and the man ran away from the scene. The Trinity police are probing the matter. Man wanted for lottery scamming in the U.S. arrested in Hanover. A Hanover resident who is wanted in the United States in relation to lottery scamming was captured in Old Road District in Lucy in the parish on Thursday. 35-year-old Dwayne Anderson, otherwise called Blue, was captured through the collaborative efforts of the Jamaica Fugitive Apprehensive Team, Lottery Scam Task Force, and the Air One Operational Support Team. He was arrested during a security operation between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. and taken into custody pending an extradition hearing. Anderson is wanted in the U.S. to answer to charges relating to mail fraud, money laundering, wire fraud, and other lottery scamming activities. Fanto Mojo hospitalized in Martinique with breathing problems. Reggae firebrand artist Fanto Mojo is currently hospitalized after developing breathing problems and complaining that his chest was tightening not long after he arrived in the island on Wednesday. As a result of his medical condition, the stronger singer will be forced to cancel his performance at the Reggae Therapy Festival 2024 in Martinique on July 12 and 13, reporters were informed. He will definitely have to miss the Reggae Therapy show this weekend. Plus, the doctors said he cannot get on a plane until the next 3 weeks, so he is going to miss another show in French, a source close to Fanta confirmed with reporters. We were supposed to fly out on Sunday, so we need to let his fans know that he's alright, but he won't be able to make these engagements. Fanto Mojo was born in Whitehall, St. Elizabeth. To gain experience, he took a job working with a traveling sound system and performed songs during sound checks. He adopted the name Mad Killer in the homage of one of his favorite artists, Bounty Killer. After being exposed to the Rastafarian movement, his music began to take on a more positive tone, and he was encouraged by Capleton to take on the name Fanto Mojo. Fanto had a breakthrough in 2005 after the release of his first album, Hail the King. The album continues to garner success results worldwide. He is known for singles such as Stronger, which has racked up over 30 million views on YouTube, as well as songs like Rasta Got Soul, Most High Jah, and Nabil No Great Man featuring Jakir. Prosecution wants maximum sentence for Cullimore and contract killer for murder of wife and taxi driver. The prosecution wants Omar Cullimore and the man whom he contracted to murder his wife and her taxi driver to serve close to 50 years in prison before being eligible for parole. Cullimore and his cronies, however, will have to wait until next week Tuesday to know what their fate will be when the hearing is expected to be concluded. Simone Campbell Cullimore and Winston Walters were killed when men rode up on motorbikes and sprayed them with bullets as they waited to be let inside Campbell Cullimore's Forest Ridge apartment complex in Red Hill, St. Andrew on January 2, 2018. The 32-year-old mother was shot 19 times, while the driver was shot 5 times. Cullimore, 41, a United States businessman, contract killer Michael Adams, and Dwayne Pink were all found guilty of the murders of both victims, as well as conspiracy to murder on May 15, following a 4-month-long trial. Meanwhile, co-accused Shaquilla Edwards was only convicted to murder conspiracy. Acting Senior Director of Public Prosecutions Andrea Martin Swaby, during her submission before Justice Clayton Pusey, asked that both Cullimore and Adams be sentenced to life in prison for each of the murders, with the men serving 46.5 years in prison before parole eligibility in respect to Campbell Cullimore's murder and 48.5 years for Walter's murder. She, however, recommended a slight lower sentence for Pink based on the minimal role he played in the murder plot. Martin Swaby asked also that he be sentenced to life in prison for both murders, but that he be ordered to serve 41.5 years before being eligible for parole for Campbell Cullimore's murder and 43.5 years for the other murder. As it relates to Edwards, she recommended 60.5 years, but the judge told her that given the maximum is 10 years and that the convict has already served 6.5 years in prison, that time would be outside of the court's jurisdiction. As a result, he told her he could only propose 3.5 years. Martin Swaby, further in her submission, proposed a starting point of 45 years for Cullimore and Adams and 40 years for Pink. She argued that the case at hand, based on the circumstances, falls within the category of cases described as the worst of the worst, noting that the starting point must reflect the seriousness and gravity of the offense. Pointing to the case of Christopher Locke, where the convict had set his lover ablaze after she ended the relationship, she argued that although only one person was killed, the judge accepted that the case fell within the mentioned category and used a starting point of 50 years. Turning to the aggravating factors, She asked the judge to accept Collimore's plotting of his wife's murder as a factor along with the involvement of the convictions and others, as well as the impact of the murder on the community, family of the deceased, and the society. She also asked that Walter's murder be treated as a factor. His killing must be considered to be an additional aggravating feature, demonstrating the total disregard for human life and a deliberate attempt to remove any possible witness to the killing of Mrs. Collimore, she stated. Equally, the prosecutor submitted that the evidence they depicted a chilling demonstration of a well-organized and orchestrated contract to kill, and that a strong message should be sent to society, to persons who are involved or organizers, that it should not be tolerated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.